bellezas, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here then just welcome. Hi, my name is Brenda. I do mostly paranormal videos here on my channel, so if that is something that you are interested in, please consider subscribing down below and turn on your post notifications so you do not miss when I post another video like this one. Now with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. Alright you guys, as you can tell, today it is a little bit of a different setting. I wanted to do something a little bit more like cozy. Oh, this guy's like right in center. Oh no, it turned my light to a different color. But yeah, I wanted to do something a little bit different where it was more like sleepover vibes, but I wasn't really sure how to do it because I was like, if I don't have my mic on here, like, will the audio be bad? And I'm like trying to do it where it's kind of close to me and I could kind of talk into it and see how it turns out. But yeah, so I wanted to do like sleepover vibes where I was like laying in my bed with my cozy blanket, which by the way has Mickey Mouse on it. You guys probably seen it in my background. And I got this new little vampire Mickey here too. Little Pump is here, and my new little ghosty is here too, and we're just like, it's gonna be like comfy vibes, you know. And we're gonna be reading some scary stories to tell in the dark. As you guys can see here, I have ran through most of these already. I have read in some other videos most of these, and so there's not very many good ones left. But there still are some that are a little bit spooky, not in the same way. They're a little bit more like kid friendly sort of thing, but I still wanted to read some to you guys and do this type of video just for fun. Not everyone may like this sort of video because these aren't my most popular videos, the scary stories to tell in the dark. Usually they don't get the most views, but I enjoy them because it gives me nostalgia. It takes me back to my childhood when I used to read these all the time with a flashlight in the car when we were going on road trips. If you guys have been here on my channel before and have seen my other previous videos, you guys know that I always tell you guys that story, and I always talk about how I used to do that when we would go on road trips to California. But yeah, so today I'm going to be reading you guys some, so go grab your cozy blanket, some snacks, whatever it is you need to get comfortable and get ready to hear some hopefully spooky stories. And this is the first illustration on the book, The Hook. Ooh, okay. Let's see. This first story says, Donald and Sarah went to the movies. Then they went for a ride in Donald's car. They parked up on a hill at the edge of town. From there they could see the lights up and down the valley. Donald turned on the radio and found some music, but an announcer broke in with a news bulletin. A murderer had escaped from the state prison. He was armed with a knife and was headed south on foot. His left hand was missing. In its place, he wore a hook. Let's roll up the windows and lock the doors, said Sarah. That's a good idea, said Donald. That prison isn't too far away, said Sarah. Maybe we should really go home. But it's only 10 o'clock, said Donald. I don't care what time it is, she said. I want to go home. Look, Sarah, said Donald, he's not going to climb all the way up here. Why would he do that? Even if he did, all the doors are locked. How could he get in? Oh my god, this guy. Donald, he could take that hook and break through a window and open a door, she said. I'm scared. I want to go home. Donald was annoyed. Girls always are afraid of something, he said. And he started the car. Sarah thought she heard someone or something scratching at her door. Did you hear that? She asked as they roared away. It sounded like somebody was trying to get in. Oh, sure, said Donald. Soon they got to her house. Would you like to come in and have some cocoa? She asked. "No," he said. "I've got to go home." This petty ass. He went around to the other side of the car to let her out. Hanging on the door handle was a hook. Also, I'm sorry if you guys hear all that background noise. Like, I don't know what the hell they're doing out there, but it's really annoying. There's like noises and music and oh my god, there's so much going on. It's taking me out of the spooky vibe. Come on. But yeah, so he went around and there was a hook indeed. Was he hanging off of the freaking car? Like they dragged him all the way home? That's super creepy. And I was like, this guy Donald sucks. Like his girlfriend is scared, or his date is scared, and he's like, ugh, girls, you know, what an asshole. And she still invited him in, and he was like, no, I gotta go home. What a bitch. Oh, that was mean. Just kidding, Donald. But seriously, though, fuck no. Alright, let's go on to the second story. This one's called The White Satin Evening Gown, and this is the illustration for it. So scary. Okay. A young man invited a young girl to a formal dance, but she was very poor, and she could not afford to buy the evening gown she needed for such an occasion. Maybe you can rent a dress, her mother said. So she went to a pawn shop not far from where she lived. There she found a white satin evening gown in her size. She looked lovely in it, and she was able to rent it for very little. When she arrived at the dance with her friend, she was so attractive, everyone wanted to meet her. She danced again and again and was having a wonderful time, but then she began to feel dizzy and faint, and she asked her friend to take her home. I think I have danced too much, she told him. When she got home, she lay down on her bed, and the next morning her mother found that her daughter had died. The doctor did not understand what had caused her death, so he had the coroner perform an autopsy. The coroner found that she had been poisoned by embalming fluid. It had stopped her blood from flowing. There were traces of the fluid on her dress. He decided it had entered her skin when she perspired while she was dancing. The pawnbroker said he bought the dress from an undertaker's helper. It had been used in a funeral for another young woman, and the helper had stolen it just before she was buried. Oh my god. Imagine that happening. Like, what are the odds of that? Like, you're trying to save some money so you don't have to spend anything on an expensive dress because you just want to go to this party. And this happens. Like, I would be devastated. That one wasn't as much scary as it was sad because she was just having a good time and then she died. Like what the hell? Oh, this is doing a poo back here, by the way. I didn't even notice he was in the frame. I'm gonna crop him out. Okay, let's see. Oh my god, so many of these I have read to you guys already. Alright, this one is Aaron Kelly's Bones. This is the illustration. Just kidding. That's so silly. Alright. It says Aaron Kelly was dead. They bought him a coffin and had a funeral and buried him. But that night, he got out of his coffin and he came home. His family was sitting around the fire when he walked in. He sat down next to his widow and he said, "What's going on? You all act like somebody died. Who's dead?" His widow said, "You are." "I don't feel dead," he said. "I feel fine." "You don't look fine," his widow said. "You look dead. You'd better get back to the grave where you belong." What? Why is she so casual about this? "I'm not going back to the grave until I feel dead," he said. Since Aaron wouldn't go back, his widow couldn't collect his life insurance. Without that, she couldn't pay for the coffin, and the undertaker said he would take it back. This story is ridiculous. Aaron didn't care. He just sat by the fire, rocking in a chair and warming his hands and feet. But his joints were dry and his back was stiff, and every time he moved, he creaked and cracked. One night, the best fiddler in town came to court the widow. Since Aaron was dead, the fiddler wanted to marry her. The two of them sat on one side of the fire, and Aaron sat on the other side, creaking and cracking. "How long do we have to put up with this dead corpse?" the widow asked. "Something must be done," the fiddler said. "This isn't very jolly," Aaron said. "Let's dance." The fiddler got out his fiddle and began to play. Aaron stretched himself, shook himself, got up, took a step or two, and began to dance. With his old bones rattling, and his yellow teeth snapping, and his bald head wagging, and his arms flip-flopping around and around he went. With his long legs clicking and his knee bones knocking, he skipped and pranced around the room. How that dead man danced! But pretty soon a bone worked loose and fell to the floor. "Look at that," said the fiddler. "Play faster," said the widow. The fiddler played faster. Crickety-crack, down and back the dead man went hopping, and his dry bones kept dropping. This way, that way, the pieces just kept popping. "Play, man, play," cried the widow. The fiddler fiddled, and dead Aaron danced. Then Aaron fell apart, collapsed into a pile of bones, all except his bald head bone that grinned at the fiddler, cracked its teeth, and kept dancing. "Look at that," groaned the fiddler. "Play louder," cried the widow. "Ho, ho," said the head bone. "Ain't we having fun?" The fiddler couldn't stand it. "Widow," he said, "I'm going home." And he never came back. The family gathered up Aaron's bones and put them back in the coffin. They mixed them up so he couldn't fit them back together. After that, Aaron stayed in his grave, but the widow never did get married again. Aaron had seen to that. Oh my God, that was ridiculously crazy. And first of all, kind of weird that the widow isn't fazed at all by the fact that her dead husband's back, and she's kind of just like, "Oh, this guy is such a nuisance, like, go back to your grave." Like, no kind of emotion. She did it. She killed him. And that's why he had to come back and make sure that she never got married. The fiddler was like, "Oh, never mind, like, he's not going anywhere clearly, so I'm just gonna leave." And nobody else wanted to have anything to do with that. I love these kinds of books because they're not like too serious, but when it comes to it, they do get pretty creepy, and you're like, what the hell was that? And some of them are just like silly and kind of funny, and I like that because sometimes I like more, not as morbid of scary, I like more airy. I don't know if what kind of word to use for it, but it's refreshing sometimes to not have to just do the same thing over and over. All right, let's read one more. Yeah, you guys want to hear one more? Yeah? Should I? Okay, all right. I'm going to read it. Okay, calm down. All right, it says, this one is titled, Wait Till Martin Comes. It says, an old man was out for a walk. When a storm came up, he looked for a place to take shelter. Soon he came to an old house. He ran up to the porch and knocked on the door, but nobody answered. By now, rain was pouring down, thunder was booming, and lightning was flashing. So he tried the door. When he found it was unlocked, he went inside. Except for a pile of wooden boxes, the house was empty. He broke up some of the boxes and made a fire with them. Then he sat down in front of the fire and dried himself. It was so warm and cozy that he fell asleep. When he woke up, a black cat was sitting near the fire. It stared at him for a while. Then it purred. That's a nice cat, he thought, and he dozed off again. When he opened his eyes, there was a second cat in the room, but this one was as big as a wolf. It looked at him very closely, and it asked, "Shall we do it now?" "No," said the other cat. "Let's wait till Martin comes." I must be dreaming, thought the old man. He closed his eyes again. Then he took another look. But now there was a third cat in the room, and this one was as big as a tiger. It looked the old man over, and it asked, "Shall we do it now?" "No," said the others. "Let's wait till Martin comes." The old man jumped up, jumped out the window, and started running. "When Martin comes, you tell him I couldn't wait," he called. "When Martin comes, you tell him I couldn't wait." I don't understand that. What did I miss in this story? Let's wait till Martin comes. Who is Martin? There must be like something that I didn't get, because then, so the old man leaves or jumps out the window and then yells back, when Martin comes, you tell him I couldn't wait. I don't know what that means. Oh my god, if somebody understands that, like usually I get the like, I get what they're trying to do with something and then like it creeps me out, but I do not understand this one. Like they kept getting bigger and they were saying if they should wait or if they should do it now. Do what? Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know what they were, I don't know what kind of message they were trying to give with that story. But I feel like somebody might be able to tell me in the comments if they understood that, because I did not understand that. Okay, I feel like I should just read this last one because I think this is the last one that I have for this book, and I'll have to get one of the other books to do more of these videos. So we're gonna go ahead and just read this last one so you guys get an extra story, okay? Thank you, love you. Alright, this one's called The Ghost with the Bloody Fingers. A businessman arrived at a hotel late one night and asked for a room. The room clerk told him the hotel was all filled up. There's only one empty room, he said, but we don't rent that one because it's haunted. I'll take it, said the businessman. I don't believe in ghosts. The man went up to the room, he unpacked his things, and he went to bed. As soon as he did, a ghost came out of the closet. Its fingers were bleeding, and it was moaning, bloody fingers, bloody fingers. When the man saw the ghost, he grabbed his things and ran. The next night, a woman arrived very late. Again, all the rooms were taken except the haunted room. I'll sleep there, she said. I'm not afraid of ghosts. As soon as she got into bed, the ghost came out of the closet. Its fingers were bleeding. It was still moaning, bloody fingers, bloody fingers. And the woman took one look and ran. A week later, another guest arrived very late. He also took the haunted room. After he unpacked, he got out his guitar and he began to play. Soon, the ghost appeared. As before, its fingers were bleeding and it was moaning, bloody fingers, bloody fingers. The man paid no attention, he just kept strumming his guitar, but the ghost kept moaning and its fingers kept bleeding. Finally, the guitar player looked up. Cool it, man, he said. Get yourself a Band-Aid. I can't with these freaking stories. Like, it's either like really funny or really scary, and I think that's the point of these because obviously they're like made for preteens, maybe like teens, that sort of thing, because I read this when I was like about 12 or younger. I don't really remember, but those ones are a little bit more silly stories more than like creepy. But regardless, I love these books so much. As I said, it's nostalgic for me. But yeah, guys, that is going to be the last story that I will be reading to you guys in tonight's sleepover. We gotta go memes, everybody. It's bedtime. Let's go to sleep, okay? Alright, guys, but before I do end today's video, today's comment shout out goes to this person right here. Thank you so much for leaving a nice comment. As always, I really do appreciate it and it really makes my day. And if you want to be the next comment shout out, all you have to do is leave me a nice comment down below, and that's it. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. I really do hope that you enjoyed this style of video and that you enjoyed these stories, because I do want to make more videos with some of the other books. And also just a reminder, guys, I do have memberships on my channel, so if you click that join button down below that's next to the subscribe button, you pay $5 a month to get an extra video a month, along with some other perks like having a badge next to your name to let everybody know that you are a member of my channel. You get to participate in polls to pick subjects for future videos and so on and so forth. So if you guys are interested, the join button's down below. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching again. Hopefully I will see you in my next one. Don't forget to stay safe and be kind. Bye bye.